about. Let's begin with then the story in Ontario, only because we're also on Santa watch. Yes, Kasia Bodurka is going to be checking in with Santa Claus coming up. I calculated it, 27 more sleeps, if you can believe it. 27 more sleeps until Santa Claus arrives. And so Kasia, if we check in with her through right now, through this morning, we're going to be talking, Kasia, a lot about what's happening tonight in Southern Ontario. Not sure. Oh, she's got Santa Claus behind her, and we're going to be checking in with her. I can see her in my monitor. And we're going to be checking in with her right now. Kasia, I think it's a little bit dark still this morning, but Santa Claus may be behind you.
He may be. Yeah, it's just a cardboard Santa for now. But the real thing, he will be joining us throughout the show, Natalie, so we're very excited. We're at Downey's Farm, just north of the Brampton area in the GTA. And Breakfast with Santa is going to be going on here throughout the weekend, throughout the next few weeks. So, of course, Christmas is on the minds of so many people. You mentioned it, 27 days. Meanwhile, we've got temperatures right now. It is so cold. I feel like Mama Claus, right? Mrs. Claus here with my hood. Temperatures are feeling like the minus mid-teens for a lot of us in Southern Ontario. So bundle up. You may also have a light dusting of snow on your cars as well. So maybe give yourself some extra time for that. But we're not looking at anything too active in the way of the morning hours. However, that could be changing later into the day. Natalie, we'll let you provide those details.
So what we're going to do is we're going to check in with Kasia. And Kasia, we were mentioning this earlier, but 27 sleeps until Christmas.
It's almost hard to believe, Natalie, but for that reason, we are going to have breakfast with Santa today, or at least be talking about it. Santa will be making an appearance throughout the show. This is, of course, just our little cardboard Santa for now. We come to you from Downey's in Caledon, where it feels like minus 14. Almost painfully cold at this point. Layer up, my friends. That's all I have to say. Layer up. That's why I'm wearing my hood at this point. It's just to keep me warm. We're not seeing any snow flying, but it did fly through the overnight. Just a heads up. So you may need a little, maybe an extra minute or so to wipe off your car. It took us a while actually to scrape some of the frost off our vehicle here. So that's just a heads up there, but a nice warm up for the weekend, Natalie. Maybe I'll allow you to provide those good news details.
Before high pressure moves in, Kasia, and the winds ease. What's interesting, Kasia, because you were out yesterday in the field as well, it's at least 5 degrees colder today.
Oh, I really notice it, Natalie. It's actually, I'm using the word painfully cold because it is a little bit of a shock. Yesterday was definitely more mild. Today, a little bit more settled through this area. As you mentioned, we do have the squalls through some areas, but through the GTA, here we are in Caledon, we're not seeing anything in the way of active weather, though we did have some flurries fly through the overnight. So I had some accumulated snow on my car earlier this morning, and it took us a while to brush off our car here at the Weather Network headquarters. So perhaps giving yourself some extra time for that and layering up. It feels like the minus mid-teens here in Southern Ontario, at least for your morning hours, and daytime highs not looking too promising either if you don't like the cold, and it'll be feeling like about minus 8 to even minus 10 for some of us into the afternoon. Natalie?
She is live with us just outside of Brampton. Kasia, did you know I'm a huge fan of Downey Farm? Love their pumpkin donuts.
I did not know that, Natalie, but I'm addicted to their pumpkin donuts as well, which they happen to make them year-round, so this is good news for all of us, especially back at the station, huh? All right, so Downey's Farm, here we are in Caledon, where it feels like minus 13 right now. It's painfully cold, and I say this because yesterday and the day before when I was outside, it certainly wasn't as cold. But I do feel a little on the spoiled side because taking a look at what's happening in Winnipeg and Regina, I mean, temperatures in the minus 20s. And Kapuskasing, I always enjoy seeing what's happening in Kapuskasing. I have that on my app. It feels like minus 35 there right now. So we're kind of lucky, right? Consider ourselves lucky. It feels like minus 13 here. Meanwhile, no real active weather to speak of here. No snow squall watches and warnings in this particular region. However, we have been seeing some squalls a little bit closer to Georgian Bay and Lake Huron. Natalie?
Thank you very much, Kasia, and you're right. It can always be worse. So we embrace our weather because the weather can always get worse. For you, Kasia, I think you're just north of Brampton, aren't you? You didn't see any flurries this morning, did you?
No, although I did have A few. A little bit of snow on my car earlier this morning when I was just coming out, so I did have to give myself a little extra time to wipe it off. Also, we had thick frost on our vehicles as well. So again, just a heads up for you in Ontario, it was cold through the overnight. There was a little moisture there as well, so you may have to do a little scraping this morning. Meanwhile, it feels like minus 13 right now here in Caledon. We come to you live from Downey's Fun Farm. And you know, the fun farms, the fun usually wraps up right after Halloween, but it's in full swing now when it comes to Christmas. So they've got the real Christmas trees here, and of course all the baked goods. And guess what? Santa is going to be joining us throughout the show. Bundle up right now. I mentioned the temperatures feel like the minus mid-teens. Stay with us. We'll be warming up with Santa throughout the next hour.
Sounds amazing. Thank you very much, Kasia. We'll be checking in with Kasia throughout the show, and I'm sure she will have some fun with Santa later this morning if you can stay with us for that. Because then high pressure moves in, Kasia, and the lake effect snow potential dies down. But for you, you're probably just really concerned about the cold this morning.
I really am. Compared to yesterday and the day before, it is far cooler, Natalie. Temperatures are feeling like the minus mid-teens for a lot of us in southern Ontario. Closer to the 401 corridor, it feels like minus 10. Base temperatures, here we are in Caledon, by the way, at Downey's Fun Farm, and temperatures are sitting at about minus 8, and it feels like minus 13. So how do you feel about that? We've got Emmett and Henry. How do you feel about today's temperatures?
It's good.
It's good. I know. I want to bundle up a little bit more for you. She's just about to go inside because she's going to meet Santa with me as well. This is an exciting show because Lunch with Santa is going on all weekend long and for the next few weekends. So we'll be talking about that throughout the show. Back to you inside, Natalie.
I'm hanging on every word, Kasia, too, because I want to. Yeah, high five. They did great. I also want to bundle her up because here's Kasia in her Arctic jacket. It's feeling like the minus teens and those little kids. Temperatures are warming this weekend, although it doesn't matter for you. You're inside with Santa.
This is a good thing. No, earlier for the 6 o'clock hour and just our last hit, we were outside, and I've been using the term painfully cold, Natalie, because, the last few mornings have been a little bit more mild for us in southern Ontario. It feels like minus 13 just outside of the Downey's Bakery, where you find us here. We are in Caledon, Ontario, by the way, and closer to the 401 corridor. As you're stepping out, it feels like the minus, I'd say closer to minus 11, minus 10. So just a heads up. Dress for those conditions. We've got a dancing Santa here. We've got young Henry, 6-year-old Henry, who's already eating a cinnamon bun so early in the morning. The real thing, by the way, the real Santa will be joining us very shortly throughout the show. But what were you thinking about today's weather when you stepped outside today?
Cold.
Cold, yeah. See, simple. A man of not too many words, but, it's true. Straight to the point. It's cold. Back to you inside.
He can be a man of one word. That's all we need to know. It's cold. Thank you so much to Kasia. So I mentioned lake effect snow off of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron this morning, not impacting Kasia as much. Oh my goodness, Kasia, do you have a pumpkin donut?
I do. I'm so excited because I've got Santa on the one hand. There's kids around here. We've got the Christmas trees out here at Downey's Fun Farm, just outside of Caledon, or in Caledon, I should say, not too far from Brampton. Natalie, it's a cold, cold morning, and this hand that's exposed to the elements is very cold. It feels like minus 13, but it doesn't matter because I'm holding onto this donut. Temperatures aren't going to get too much warmer, by the way, throughout much of the day. We're looking at wind chill values feeling like minus 8. That's our daytime high for a lot of us in southern Ontario. But here, I'm going to make you jealous now. Back to the side.
Hold on, Kasia. Don't go anywhere.
Amazing.
Is it warm? Just tell me the donut's also warm.
It's so warm. It just came out of the fryer, Natalie.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
loving life.
Get off my TV screen. Go away. Okay, lake effect snow on the radar. Snow, as long as it's not impacting your drive, Kasia, can always set the scene very nicely for Santa Claus.
Indeed, and we come to you live from Downey's Farm and Market and Winery, by the way, where Santa makes an appearance every weekend now for lunch with Santa, right? We're having breakfast with Santa, and you know what? It's my birthday, so I'm really excited about that. So, Santa, I really hope you tell me that I made the nice list.
You've been a pretty good girl this year.
I've been good. Now, how do you feel about the weather, Santa? I mean, in the North Pole, it feels like the minus 30s, but here it feels like minus 13 in Caledon, Ontario.
It's cold, but we need some more snow.
Okay, so there you go. We have a request for more snow. Emmett, what are you going to ask of Santa for this year?
I I want a marker maker for Christmas.
Of course. That sounds really cool. All right. Speaking of cool, daytime highs not doing too well today. If you don't like the cold, it's going to be feeling like, well, -10 for a lot of us in southern Ontario during your daytime high temperatures. Natalie, back to
Yes.
inside.
Thank you very much,
All right,
Kasia.
thanks, Santa.
Yeah. Later, I have to research what a marker maker is. So thanks, Kasia. We'll talk about temperatures and laying snow right now. Not so cold in comparison in southern Ontario, but Kasia, it was colder outside than where you are now inside.
Oh, absolutely. And things are heating up on the inside here at Downey's Farm Market. We've got the kids playing, the elves, the reindeer. They're having a good time. Outside, it happens to feel like -13, even though our base temperatures in Caledon, Ontario are at about -8. Avery over here, how do you feel about today's weather?
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold. We've been hearing a lot about that. But you know, Santa is here, and we all know Santa knows everything. So Santa, what's it going to be like into the afternoon here in Caledon?
Well, this afternoon should be a mix of sun and cloud. We're at -3 and probably feel like -8.
There you go, Santa. He uses our app, Natalie. Back to you inside. Good job,
He
Santa.
uses our app, but of course, he knows everything, including the forecast and, what I want for Christmas. So thank you very much to Kasia and Santa. By the way, Kasia's the birthday girl today, so send her a tweet if you're on Twitter and send her some birthday love. Snow. Luckily for Kasia and the kids and Santa, no snow right now for you.
No, but although we are seeing very, very light flurries here and there, Natalie, but we are having so much fun. And now that the sun is up, we decided to come back outside and enjoy the elements, even though it is, well, quite cool in my opinion. Santa knows everything, though. Does Santa use our app, actually?
I use the app.
Okay, good. So what's it like outside right now here in Caledon?
Right now it's about -9, but it feels about -13.
That's right. And of course, we come to you from Downey's Farm Market. Hey, guys, what's it feeling like out here? How do you feel about today's weather?
Cold.
Come on, a little more energy, huh? One more time.
Cold.
Okay, we're going to have to practice that. When we come back, we have more about your weather. And of course, we're going to send it back to you inside, Natalie.
Thank you, Kasia. I don't know how excited the kids are for the cold, obviously, but this weekend is going to be warming up. It's still cold, just not as cold as we've seen the last couple of mornings. Okay, this morning in southern Ontario is a lot cooler than we've seen as of late. But Kasia, you have been having so much fun with Santa this morning.
We have, so it's been keeping us warm. Well, actually, not so much. We do have Santa here. We come to you live from Downey's Fun Farm in Caledon, where, guys, how does it feel outside?
Cold.
Okay, mixed reviews. Someone's saying it's warm. Did you make the naughty or the nice list?
Naughty.
Ooh, lots of naughty ones. We'll confirm, Santa. What's it going to be like into the afternoon, though?
This afternoon we're looking for a mix of sun and clouds. Around -3, but I feel like more like -8.
Hey, he's been reading our app. And meanwhile, as you're stepping outside in southern Ontario, feels like the mid-teens for a lot of us. Okay, everybody, let's go say hi to Natalie.
Hi, everyone. Thank
Hi,
you.
Natalie, back to you inside.
Thank you, everyone, for a great morning. That was awesome.